The Sonru video interview is the first step on the road to many jobs. People always ask me what questions will be asked on the interview. Most questions are behavioral questions, and behavioral questions follow a pattern. Do you know what that pattern is? And better yet, do you know how to answer those questions? Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm a former hiring manager at a major Fortune 50 corporation, and I'm here to walk you through Sonru's 7 most common interview questions. If there's a question this video does not cover, please let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to help you out answering that question. And stick around to the end of this video for a great tip on how to ace your Sonru video interview. The questions we'll look at today can fall into the 3 most common interview question categories. First, introductory questions, then behavioral questions, and finally, motivational questions. You'll find all those question types on your typical Sonru video interview. Question 1, tell me about yourself. This is a classic introductory question. If you had to prepare for only one question, make sure it's this one. A great answer here is one that quickly tells the hiring manager who you are, what your experience is, and what you want to do. Make sure you are clear, concise, and energetic. This is typically the first question that your hiring manager will look at. First impressions count, so start off strong. Sit up straight, smile, be energetic, and speak up. Those simple things will already set you apart from most of the people who are also submitting video interviews. What you should definitely not do is list off all the places you've worked at, everything you've accomplished, and everything you want to do. They already have your CV or resume in front of you. There's no reason why you want to repeat all that information. And this is a video interview. You want to make things interesting. Reading off a long list is not the point here. You want to condense who you are into a 30 to 60 second snippet and convey that information in an energetic form. So if I had to answer that question, an example answer could be, hi, my name is Patrick. After a career as a hiring manager, I decided I wanted to help people get their dream jobs. That's why I joined a YouTube channel that focuses just on that. I also love mountain biking and board games. You see what I mean? If I had read off my CV or resume, it would have been very, very dry. This way, even though I don't list absolutely everything I've done, I've given the hiring manager a great overview of who I am, and they can quickly remember who that guy is when they're talking about me with somebody else. Using up all the answer time you have is rarely the correct choice. You want to get your message across and stop once that message has been delivered. Question 2, tell me about the toughest challenge you've ever faced. Awesome, this is our first behavioral question. Before we start answering this question, let me quickly tell you how behavioral questions work. These questions follow a very predictable pattern. They'll ask you about your past, and you have to use concrete examples from your past to answer them. The best way to answer these questions is using the STAR method. I'll leave a video in the description where I go over the STAR method and how to use it. Okay, back to the question. This question is actually asking you about how do you prioritize things. Tough challenges are usually extremely complex that can be solved in many different ways. And that's what this question is interested in. Talk about how you broke down that tough problem, how you decided which actions should be taken, and in what order. Let's hear an example answer. I joined a company that had lousy videos. My manager told me I had to improve them, but I had no idea how to do that since I've never worked with any videos. So I researched video production online, spoke to several experienced people, and started making some trial videos. Gradually, the quality of the videos went up and our numbers started going up as well. This is a tutorial video, so my answers are going to be kind of short, but you can see how I take a big problem, I break it down, and I talk about how I prioritize what I'm going to do. And if you watch my video on the STAR method, you probably realized how I broke down the answer following the STAR method. By the way, if you feel like you're getting value from this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're constantly releasing new videos, and you might be applying to one of the companies that we cover. Also, if you want to practice for your Sonru video interview, make sure to check out Voomer. You can practice on hundreds of past and present Sonru video interview questions to get your confidence up quickly. You'll also get AI-powered feedback on your answers, so you can quickly improve and get that job you want. There's a link to a free trial in the pinned comment below. Question 3. Tell me about a time you had to deliver disappointing news. Now, what's the real question here? The hiring manager isn't really interested in how well you just tell somebody bad news. The real question is, how proactive are you? Because every time you tell somebody bad news, the next question is, well, what are we going to do about it? Hiring managers want people that are able to think ahead and bring solutions when they identify a problem. So let's hear an example answer. The first video I recorded was a disaster. It did not reach the goals my manager set. I explained that to her, but I also explained everything I learned. And I started making the videos in a very different way, and they're getting better and better. So I deliver the bad news, but I also go above and beyond and explain what I'm going to do next. Question 4. Tell me about a time you faced conflict in a team. This is another classic question. And if the job you're applying to involves a lot of teamwork, you're almost guaranteed to be asked this question. Let's look beyond the question again. What Sonru is really asking here is, what are your people skills? How you identify problems, how you empathize, de-escalate, resolve, and enable teamwork. Let's hear an example answer to this question. I had a new coworker that had a really hard time with their work. My manager asked me to help them. So what I did was I proposed an expanded onboarding program to get new hires up to speed faster. And that new hire now works a lot better because of that expanded onboarding program. Question 5. Tell me about a time you had to explain something complex. This question might seem very similar to the prioritization question we discussed, but actually it's pretty different. They want to hear about your communication skills. And communication is important for any job. So make sure you have examples for this question ready. Let's hear an example answer. I had to train somebody at work how to edit videos. That person did not know how to edit videos. So I created a checklist for that person and I walked them through it. Now they edit videos in no time. Question 6. Why do you want this job? This is a motivational question and a classic on any job interview. While I understand the cynicism that this type of question brings up, try and think broadly and think about what about the job interests you. Maybe if you work in sales, you can talk about how you like to meet new people. If you're applying for a job where you have to work alone in a very focused environment, you can mention how potentially you enjoy that. Everyone is different and everyone is motivated for jobs for a different reason. The only right answer here is for you to be authentic. So let's hear an example answer. I want this job because I love working with outreach. Reaching out to people and helping them with their problems is something that makes me feel great, and that's why I want this job. Feel free to speak in broad terms. You don't have to mention very specific things about the job. But if you want to do that, that's also fine. Question 7. Tell us something that is not on your CV or resume. As you can see, this is kind of a tough question, but actually you should be really happy if it pops up on your Sonru video interview. This question allows you to bring up something that will make you unique and differentiate you from the rest of all the other applicants. It also allows you to bring in one of the examples that you wanted to use in the other questions but wasn't really the right place. For example, I volunteered at a food bank. Donations were declining, but I set up an email marketing campaign that increased our donations by 300% over a few months. Use this wide open question to talk about the most interesting thing about you that hasn't been discussed yet. Now, to excel at the Sonru video interview, you need one more thing. And honestly, this video can't help you with it, nor can any other video. And that's confidence. Fortunately for you, confidence is something that can be built up with practice. And at Voomer, you can practice on hundreds and hundreds of past and present interview questions broken down by company, and you'll get instant AI-powered feedback on your answers, so you can quickly improve even if your interview is only in a few hours. So go to tryvoomer.com and start practicing for your interview right now. I'll leave a link to a free trial in the pinned comment below. If there's any other question that I did not discuss here and you'd like me to answer, please let me know in the comments. And as always, good luck with your interview.